We're getting into winter, and you're probably wondering why the hell am I even doing this video talking about why people are moving here versus California when California is probably sunshine, nice weather, and you can still go to the beach and enjoy all that stuff. But really, there's a far long list that is far more important that we're going to hit today on reasons why people are moving down from California and choosing to live in Albuquerque versus Los Angeles. So hang tight, grab your pen and your pad, and let's go. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Eli, and do yourself a huge favor and hit that subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom. That way you guys never miss out on any videos, because we are dropping videos every week talking about what our beautiful state and city has to offer here in New Mexico. And if you are interested in moving down here, that number popping up on the screen is our direct line. And as much as I love doing this, I would love to also help you out with your real estate needs, because we are licensed real estate brokers. And when I say are, that means me and my team are wanting to hop on a quick call with you guys. That way we can finalize all the details, talk about all the different areas when it comes down to moving down here to Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, Los Lunas, or any other city at that here in New Mexico. So if that's something you're interested in, hit us up. That way we can get on a quick call.
So why even make this video? And that's a pretty good question. And really, we want to touch on a few important things that you're probably thinking about, because you probably live in California and you're probably thinking about moving out of there. You're tired of dealing with all the craziness that's going on, and you just want a little bit more simplicity. And that's really going to be one of the main reasons within this list. So really touching on it, California right now is too expensive, right? So we want to show you what you can afford and what life looks like down here in New Mexico. Number two, it's super crowded, right? Millions of people, when I don't even think in the whole New Mexico we even have 1 million people living here. So you can see that, there's a slight difference as far as being overcrowded. And you really feel it when you move down here from a big city, of how far spread out things are and how much people are just kind of like in their own zone and have their own space, really. And it's super nice. But also the competitiveness of the housing market, because we are real estate agents, we want to make sure that you guys are aware that moving down to New Mexico, it's a little competitive, but it's not going to be anything like California. Now, we are also one of the states that has to deal with few to none natural disasters. I think one of the main ones we deal with is sinkholes, and it happens like every 10 years. Like, a sinkhole just appears out of nowhere, but it really isn't causing a whole lot of devastation in a lot of people's lives. So it's not one of those things like you guys dealt with where a lot of the cities were underwater. So, and they say California is going to be underwater within the next 20 years. So who knows, right? All right, reason number one, a lot of people are moving down to New Mexico in places like Albuquerque versus Los Angeles, San Francisco, and any place really in California, is because it's too damn expensive. It's out of touch, it's out of reality when you are living over there. Even rent, to hop into that conversation really quick, rent based off of renthop.com says that rent is usually around $4,000 just on the average for any kind of single family home, condo, apartment, whatever, just depending on where you're at. And it may be lower in some cities of where you're at, but really just kind of the average is around $4,000. To where Albuquerque, you might be paying $1,200, $1,500. But if you want to talk about mortgages and houses, the average house price in California right now is over $900,000. I mean, Albuquerque is a fraction of that at $350,000, and that's a pretty decent house. That's more than a starter house. That's more than, a 1,500 square foot home. It's a pretty decent sized house, which a lot of people come down here and they realize what they can afford, and they're like, man, yeah, I'm out of California. I'm coming down to Albuquerque because it's more realistic, it's more practical, and plus I can live a normal life. I'm not spending my life around work. And I think that's where the culture kind of breeds that, is that we are super lax. We are a little bit more chilled in that hustle and bustle, kind of go, 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 go. Like today, right? It's Sunday. I'm outside doing these videos for you guys while my family is just kind of hanging out and chilling, trying to figure out what we're going to do for the rest of the day. Might hit up some trails. It's a little bit of rain, might be a little bit of mud on the trails. So, hey, who knows what we're going to get into. But usually on a Sunday, even in Los Angeles, or even down in some of the parts in California where it's a little bit more slowed down, you're still that busy, go, 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 because everything is so far away. For me, I can walk to the Walmart, take me about 10 minutes. You hardly ever hear that in California. But really, all jokes aside, even the tax rate has gone crazy. In California, your guys' tax rate right now is around 18%, and it just keeps climbing along with utilities that just keep getting more expensive and all the different laws that they're putting on you guys. It's just unrealistic, in my opinion. But aside from opinions, our tax rate here is around 12 to 13%, just really depending on how much money you're bringing in, how much income you're producing. But really, let's get into a more important topic that right now in California, where do you even go to live? There's not enough houses for the people out there. Okay, so Albuquerque deals with the same problem, believe it or not, and there's really no more room to grow. There's not enough houses for people out here because of the major influx that all these major cities are driving down here. So we're having to spread out into other cities like Los Lunas, Rio Rancho, and the East Mountains. It's really a plethora of different areas for people, but that is where California is struggling right now. There's not enough houses for people to live and not enough affordable houses, because right now over 500,000 people, that is everybody in Albuquerque. If you're, comparing apples to apples, consider everybody in Albuquerque can't afford a house in California. So maybe that's why it's so unrealistic for us to go and live in California right now, because of how easy, simple, and just normal we have it down here. For you Californians, if you're paying over, that average price, kudos, you must be making a good living. But man, to be spending that much on a house, I don't know, seems kind of crazy to me. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And again, guys, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. And if you're just like me, or like everybody else here in Albuquerque, and you're tired of paying so much for housing, you want to live somewhere where it's a little bit more practical and realistic, go ahead and shoot me a text, give me a call. That way me and my team can hop on a quick call with you guys and talk about what the next steps are to get you down to New Mexico. But really, I guess Los Angeles or even North California, it grew too fast because of all the different incentives they offered back in the 60s and the 70s to people to come and purchase land, buy houses and all that stuff. And that's another thing. Land in California is freaking expensive. Here you're paying maybe $150,000 for an acre. I couldn't imagine what in California it's like. All right, now, as you can see, and I don't know if you can hear it or not, it's pretty quiet out here. If you lived in California, this would be unrealistic and unpractical, because in Los Angeles alone, there's about 4 million people. Now, I know that there's suburbs and cities and little towns or whatever tucked in there, but in Albuquerque, there's only a little over 500,000. So, like a fraction of the people that live in Los Angeles live in Albuquerque. So really, Albuquerque is growing at a steady pace, where Los Angeles has pretty much reached its peak as far as we can see as maps and all these different graphs go. A lot of people are just tired of living there, because man, I don't know if it was just that anxiousness of growing so fast that caused a lot of people to be like, man, we need to leave just to have something normal and something simple, right? Like my motto nowadays, it's keep it simple, not easy. And living down here, of course, you're going to have your days. It's not always easy. Like right now, it was super sunny, and now the clouds start rolling in, and we're expecting to see thunderstorms. But they might last all day, but it's still something that you can go outside and enjoy the rain on. It's not going to be something catastrophic like floods or earthquakes or anything like that. So sometimes when we're talking to people who live in California and we tell them what we experience here, they laugh at us. We're pretty laughable in a sense that our normal is pretty easy. You guys have it pretty tough. All right, so man, all this natural beauty, we're still having some remnants of fall just kind of sticking around a little bit longer this year, which is awesome. It gives me the vibes of just hanging out, nice cup of coffee. I don't know, rainy day like this, gosh, it's gonna be an awesome day. But our culture is that, guys, and that's why a lot of people are leaving California, because a lot of people that I speak with, especially with the clients that I've helped move down here, they're telling me that California just feels a little out of touch, out of reality with life, and they're so far in the clouds that being down to earth is something that they long for. And that's what we have here in New Mexico and Albuquerque, especially because there's a lot of people here that are working class, middle class, and that's the majority of the people here. Is you're gonna find somebody that's either in a trade, working with their hands, or just busting their butt to make a living and have a normal life, because that's what we do down here. We work hard, and at the end of the day, we like to relax and chill and make sure that the people around us are taken care of. Even our neighbors. I know in our neighborhood, there's maybe 2 or 3 young people, and when we go out, the old people are kind of always looking to us for help. And sometimes we scare them off because, right, we are the younger people living in the neighborhoods, and sometimes they think that we're causing a little bit of ruckus, and that's when we go over and we apologize and we say, hey, nothing crazy is going on here. Just let us know if you ever need anything. And that's when a couple of years ago, one of my neighbors who got stuck in his driveway when we got a heavy snow, I went over there, helped him out, got him back into his into his garage. He was planning on leaving, but ended up going back home, and he said thank you so much. And after that, all the neighbors just kind of thanked us, and it was awesome. It was nice, right? And I don't know if that kind of culture lives still in California. Maybe it does in some parts, but here it's pretty much anywhere you go. And a lot of people are telling me that the people here are so friendly. They're always willing to lend a hand, always willing to help out. And maybe that's why you should move down here, because you're tired of people that live in the clouds and you want to live around some more down-to-earth people. I don't know. Now, I'm not going to be totally naive that climate change has affected us a little bit. But to be honest with you, it's been kind of in a good way. We started to see a lot more precipitation, a lot more rain, a lot more snow here in Albuquerque and parts of New Mexico that it's helped out with the dryness. So maybe it's a good thing. Maybe the negative change that other places are seeing are providing a positive for us. But really in California, they're dealing with floods, mudslides, earthquakes, all this craziness that here in New Mexico, they say we have earthquakes and we don't feel them. They might say, hey, yeah, you might see your water just to do this whole thing, but sometimes we think we move the table ourselves. So I don't know, right? It's those key things that maybe we're out of touch with, those kinds of things that we see that our scenery where we live is so beautiful and untouched. We really don't see it being destroyed by Mother Nature itself. I don't know. If that's something that you're looking for and you want to get outside more, you want to be able to enjoy the beauty of nature, Albuquerque's culture is that, New Mexico's culture is that everybody hunts, fish, bikes, hikes, does these things outside because we have a lot of that around us. And it's really at our fingertips. The other day, I took the kiddos up to Placitas and we went four-wheeling in the truck and we got out, took pictures, flew the drone, did all kinds of different things, and it really was 25-30 minutes outside of the city. Man, how awesome is that? I know you guys have the beach, but when those waves get crazy or earthquakes start to happen, how much of that are you really enjoying? And from what I hear, when you live in California, after a year or two, you really ain't going out to the beach as often as you think. In Albuquerque, you're always outside. All right, guys, now I talked about a few important things that may help you make that decision to move down to New Mexico or Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, or anywhere here a lot more easier, a lot more simpler, right? We don't have to deal with earthquakes. It's more realistic to live here. A house is affordable, living is affordable, creating a life is just going to be a lot more realistic when you move down here from places like California, because people have been so out of touch with reality. There's all this noise that sometimes moving somewhere where it's a little bit more slowed down, the pace is realistic, you can actually, get your feet from under you and create a base and a life for you that is going to last a lifetime. So that's what I'm hearing. Those are the conversations that I'm having, and that's the people that I'm helping with. And the people that I'm helping with, oh my gosh, sorry, Heat. And the people that I'm helping move down here from places like the North Bay, Los Angeles, San Diego, all these different places in California tell me these things. And there's a trend, right? They are tired of living in somewhere they can no longer afford. And that's going to be the main topic, is that it's just too expensive. And if you are tired of those things, again, guys, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. Let's get on a quick video call with me and my team. That way we can talk about all these different things and talk about what areas here in Albuquerque or any other place in New Mexico are going to make sense for you. But other than that, guys, I'm going to enjoy I'm going to enjoy the rest of this morning, have myself a coffee and a cigar. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Yeah, oh my Lord, watch me sway. Darkness falls and we all pray.